And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We're about to connect with our Amazon Live family with our next guest. We're excited to welcome actor and comedian Jermel Wilson to our program. Jermel and I actually met each other in person back in, it's hard to believe, 2019. But
Yeah,
he's been a part of some great projects, including Bronx SIU, the Emmy Award winning show that you guys can actually find on Amazon. We're going to be reminding you of that. But he has a lot of great things that's going on in 2021 as well. We're going to talk to him about all of that and also let you guys know how to stay connected with him. Jamel, glad to have you on with us. We're going to go ahead and check our settings on everything before we go live on Amazon. And then we're going to go ahead and get started, okay?
all right. And just to let everybody know, Cyrus is one of the realest interview hosts because he came to see me in Brooklyn and Brownsville in a Brownsville bar. And that probably was like the loudest interview. Like I was embarrassed. He was like, "Yo," because I wasn't embarrassed for the people. I was just embarrassed about because it wasn't a controlled environment. So but he said, "Look, it's natural." I said, "Okay, cool," because the
It
the
is.
guy the guy that owned the barbershop was actually a good friend of mine.
Yeah. No, it was great, man. It was great. It was great to catch up with you then. And then we're going to go ahead and catch up on Amazon.
Hmm.
And you all are watching us live on Amazon Live. Glad to have you back with us on the platform. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, joining us for you this next segment. And we're excited to welcome actor and comedian Jermel Wilson to his very first appearance of us here on Amazon Live. But I've actually had a chance to talk to him before on Cyrus Webb Presents, the TV show, as well as on Conversations Live, the radio show as well. Jermel's having a pretty good 2021. We're going to talk to him about all of that. But you guys have gotten to see him in a lot of great projects, including I'm highlighting it here on the carousel here on Amazon on the show Bronx SIU that you guys can find right here on Prime Video. Jamel, how are you, man?
I'm great. I'm tired, but to get that signs of a hardworking black man.
I totally understand that. Jamel, I want to talk about this journey for you, man, because as I was saying to our audience before we joined with Amazon, I got a chance to meet you in person a couple of years ago, but you have been really consistent in the time I've gotten to know you and what you've been able to do and love. How does it feel to see all the hard work paying off for you?
I say it's about damn time. I just can't wait until I make my first home purchase. Then I feel like I made it right now because you see where I'm at, But I don't get caught up in it because being in the neighborhood, you get to see firsthand if your stuff is good and if your stuff is bad because a lot of actors they got to pick up the newspaper. So me, I got the rare distinction of if it's whack, they be like, man, that suck. But a lot of the stuff I've been putting out, it ain't been sucking. A lot of the projects I've been a part of, they've been great projects. So the feedback is just awesome.
Right, exactly. So, have you always known that in some capacity, uh, Jamel, that you wanted to be in the spotlight? As I mentioned, you're an actor as well as comedian. You've been able to do a lot of things. Have you always known that being in front of the camera was something you wanted to do?
Yeah, well, I always knew that I wanted to be an actor, and like being in the spotlight is just one of the gifts and the curse of the business, you know. But my thing is to build consistency. Like yesterday, I was at Tracy Moore's and Joe Morton's new show that they tape in. It's like an acting class within the show. It's called Inside the Black Box Theater, and I tell you how crazy this business is. This business, like if anybody always asks me how I want my career to be, I say, look, I want my career to be like Joe Morton before Scandal, because Joe Morton before Scandal, he was in What's Happening, right? He was in the baddest brother from another planet. He built Skynet. Arnold was looking for him. He was in Inkwell. And what else? He did? What else he did? He played Byron Douglas on A Different World. So it's like it tripped me out when he got the Emmy for Scandal, and everybody was like Joe Morton, Joe Morton. I'm like, y'all know Joe Morton has been killing it for 3 decades. So that's what I want. I want the long career consistency. I want you to know my face. I don't care if you know my name, but as long as you appreciate my work, that's what matters to me.
Yeah. It's funny though, you have two different, it seems like diametrically opposed sides of you, though, Jermel, in the business. Because as I said, people know you as an actor, but all the roles I've seen you on been more serious, more drama type roles. But then, as I said, you also are a comedian. You also are a rapper as well.
And
Um,
and, and I've been training in stunts for like the last couple of years. Like the project. Well, I'm fast forwarding. We'll work our way up to that one. You know.
Okay, okay, all right, all right. So I bring that up though about the different things is because is that part of the fun for you that you get to slip into different types of skin depending on what the project is?
Yeah, I mean, I just tell people that I like to play my position, you know? Like to me, no project is too big, no project is too small. It all depends on the material. And if the material is great, you're going to shine through it regardless. So, yeah, I definitely love playing in different characters and stuff like, I know me personally, even though I play cops, I would never pass a police test. And I'm saying that right now.
Yeah,
I would I could never pass it, and I couldn't. And some things like with the police, like being a police officer, is some things that I see I can get with, and some things I can't get with personally. But portraying it on camera is cool because I have a like in my life. I always had a fine line between family members and friends that was on one side of the law, and I have family members and friends that was on the side of the law. So I get to see it from both perspectives, because I got cousins that's in that work for the police. I got an uncle that was a sheriff. My mom's and my sister, they do their things with PD and everything like that. And then I got the other cousins, that control the block and stuff like that. They know I'm not doing that. But when I before I got in the business, I did have a life before the business. Thank God I stayed to the right path. But to be able to tap into all of those experiences and bring some rare authenticity to it, that's a good thing. I'm waiting until Tyler Perry and Law and Order and all of them come knocking at my door. I'm like, get me for cheap. I can work at scale right now. You know?
right. Right, right. So let's talk about that. So I mentioned Bronx SIU. For those joining us on the Amazon Live side, I have it highlighted right now in the carousel. You guys will see the carousel below us, guys. If you're joining us on the Amazon Live side, below Jamel and me, you can be able to click on that to be able to go ahead and rent and buy that for yourself. So what was that experience like for you? As I said, an Emmy award-winning show, and it really was a show that came out of nowhere. As you know, I got a chance to interview a lot of your cast members, Jamel, both in person as well as for the radio. But what was it like for you to be a part of that experience?
Well, the good thing about it was that was a show that was built from the ground up. And I'm gonna tell you a little story that a lot of people don't know. Like when I went to audition, I wasn't there to audition for that show, but I saw the breakdown and I was like, before they even had the title of it, I was like, yo, I said this joint seemed nice. I'm like, they saying they going it's a black cop show. They're gonna be taping here, and I'm like, they paying this much, and I'm like, man, listen, I'm like, that's unbelievable. So I submitted for it, right? And when I submitted for it, I didn't get the call back. I was a little burnt out by it. I was like, damn. I'm like, I'm doing the best I do, and they ain't even, call me. So the crazy thing is, God works in mysterious ways. I was there to audition for another project, and Honesty Edwards, she walked out, and she was like, "You're here to audition for my movie." I'm like, "Huh?" And she was like, "No, you here?" I'm like, "No, I didn't get anything from you or nothing like that." So she said, "Yeah." She's like, "I sent you the email. The email didn't go through." So the way God works is that somewhere at some time we both ended up in that same place, and then Mike and Dan and everybody else that was attached to it, I don't know if they was there or they left already. So she was like, "I don't even have the script." She was like, so would you mind improving and stuff like that? So I did a little improv. I'm a UCB alum, Upright Citizens Brigade. That's an improv school. And then she was like, I need you. She's like, can you rap one of your favorite songs? I was like, hold up. I'm like, you know I write music, right? She was like, no. So I said one of my verses, and I thought I was gonna get the freaking the rapper role, because that's what the heck I was going for and stuff like that. And it's just that the way things came together. So I auditioned for it, and I ain't hear from him for a while. And then I get a call from Honesty, asking me am I interested in the role. So she told me about it and everything like that. And something about it was just saying take a chance, because we as actors, our our whole career is based off a chance. So I discussed it with my agent, and I was like, look, I said, it's this new show coming out. I don't know much about it. I know it's some guy named Dan Garcia is attached to it and stuff, and it's supposed to be on a network connected to AMC, a all black network connected to AMC. So she's like, well, what do you think about what do you think about it? I said, look, I said we ask people to take chances on us all the time, so why not take a chance on them? So I called her back. I let her know I could do it. She sent the call sheet over, and I see Brian White name, Shanti Lowry name, and all these things. And then another thing that bugged me out is that I worked with Brian 10 years ago. Before that point, yeah. So I worked with him on a film called Fighting with Ditto Montiel. So I guess when he saw my audition tape and stuff like that, because he was one of the executive producers on it, it's like everything just lined up. And I was a little salty about the fighting movie, because at the time I wasn't union. I had my agents had to write a letter to get me to do it, because I was eligible for the union. So he could only give me 2 days. So those 2 days, I took that 2 days, and I went and I joined SAG. But I'm just saying that I just say that to say that if it's supposed to happen, it's gonna happen, and you never know who's looking, who's watching you and everything. So by the time I did book the role, and I knew what the heck the role was, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go hard for this. And the crazy thing is nobody knew it was coming. But I had already shot mine. So I knew it was coming. So I was just waiting patiently for it to go on IMDb. And I was waiting patiently for them to freaking drop the trailer. And I promoted it every week, every week. And then Mike and Dan and they saw what I was doing, and then Brian and Shanti and everybody, they started promoting it and stuff. So this little, and well, basically before I say that, they was like yeah, you promoting this heavy, man. Like, it's great that you believe in us. I said, first off, it's great that y'all believe in me. And dude, I'm the lowest person on the totem pole in this cast. I'm like, if this was Sesame Street, Shanti and Brian and Denise and all them, they'd be Big Bird, Elmo, Grover, all that stuff. I'd be Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Oscar got to put in work. So, I'm like, because I don't want to stay Oscar, you know? So I'm gonna do what I got to do to pull myself about that garbage can.
Got you. And that says a lot about you, Jermel, and where you are. I want to say I appreciate all of you coming in here on the Amazon Live side. Also appreciate you guys there on the YouTube side. I see you, Pauline Rogers. I see you there on the Facebook side. So glad to have you there with us as well. You all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents. Excited to welcome Jermel Wilson to our program today. Twitter, I see you guys. Appreciate the love over there on Twitter as well. We're streaming on a lot of different platforms, but we're on Amazon Live primarily talking with Jermel about his journey that's led him to where he is in 2021 with a lot of great things. So, Jermel, with everything that's going on in the world, could you have imagined that 2021 would turn out to be such an amazing year for you like it's been?
Nope, because 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 I was working on a short in February of 2020. And then, but the whole time, like when I was going to acting class and everything, we all was talking about the pandemic. Nobody knew this was coming. And then I had auditioned for so I had no problem, Cyrus, I got you. So I had auditioned for Power book 2 and everything like that. And when I sent the audition in, after I finished filming the short, and I sent the audition in, my agent, my manager, she got a letter from casting that was saying that production is shut down. So I went through a whole year with uncertainty about knowing what my next move was. But what I did know is I had to train. So I was going to Zoom acting classes throughout the whole year. Every time I was doing the generals and stuff. So the casting director, they would put out general auditions online, and I would always make the tape. And I would call up all my friends, and I'm like, look, submit to this, submit to that, submit to this, submit to that. Oh, well, it ain't gonna lead to nothing. We in a pandemic. I'm like, yeah, but when we come out of this pandemic, we gonna be working. So you ain't got to do it, but I'm gonna do it. And and when we came out of the pandemic, I got a job. Because I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was doing part time security at the time at Mulligan, like doing what was that, like basically it was like global security, like watching stuff over the over watching their territories over the United States and different things and different countries. So only thing I knew was that I was just working and I was just auditioning online. And then when everything started opening back up, I got the chance to get a job doing production security. So, I was coming to set, seeing everybody on these shows that I'm auditioning for, and at the same time doing online classes and everything. So that inspired me to go hard or go home. And then like one of my co-stars from Bronx SIU, Tony D. Head, he got a lot of things going on too. He just did Law and Order, the first episode. So he was like, "You working hard, but you're not working hard enough, and you're not going deep enough." So I had to go and challenge myself even more and push myself to the limit and change my techniques on how I land the job and how I do what I got to do. And once I put more time into my preparation, because the talent is already there. So once I put more time in my preparation and the way that I approach each audition, I started getting calls. And I'm like, okay. So like this whole summer, I'm not gonna lie, I never had a summer like this before. Usually the summer is dead. This whole summer, I've been working. And the good thing about it is it sets up precedents for 2022. So I'm like, okay, I fixed my meal, I made it, and now this same meal is gonna be feeding me and with more opportunities, more ways to make more connections, more jobs, and boost my status up so I can be that homeowner, and then right before the pandemic, it was something that was telling me it's time to do your LLC. I don't know why it was telling me that, and it kept telling me that. So I kept debating it, and then I made sure I put it together and stuff. So now, I have my own production company as well, Focus Minds Entertainment, with my business partner. And then on top of that, I started back writing because I put the music to the back burner, and I'm like, my entertainment company doubles as a record label. So, and I'm in a position where I can put out my own music, and I'm in a position where I could freaking produce my own content. So I work on theirs, but mine's is coming too. you know?
I want to thank Comment Linear on the Amazon Live side. Appreciate you following us over there. Appreciate that. If you guys are over there on the Amazon Live side, you have not done so already, underneath Jermel and me, you'll see a follow button. Feel free to click that follow button. That'll keep you updated on all of our broadcasts. Run 7 days a week here on Amazon Live. Also, Pauline says, Jermel, you sound like Cyrus Webb. Your hardworking ethic will continue to pay off. You are speaking with a hardworking man. Appreciate that, Pauline. Appreciate you
Oh yeah,
commenting on us on
Cyrus.
Facebook. So Jamil, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about some of these projects then, because I've been noticing your posts, which kind of led to our conversation today. Because I was so excited for you, man. Like I said, from the first time I was introduced to you, I was impressed by the work ethic. I was impressed by the fact that you were putting in what it takes. You were putting in the work, And now I'm so glad to see that work paying off for you. What should our audience be on the lookout for from you, Jermel, moving forward?
All right. Well, well, currently I'm in four spots, four promos for Charlemagne's God's Honest Truth, his TV show on Comedy Central. And then I'm playing Scarface in the last episode of season 2 of Wu Tang: The American Saga. But I'm just there like just to establish the character. So if y'all like to see my beautiful black face on that show, please do what you got to do. Hit up their Twitter, they IG or whatever. And then it's another film that I shot before the pandemic with Marquise Rodriguez from the Central Park Five. It's a short. It's called Certain Kind of Person. And then I have another film that I shot with thanks to a good friend of mine, Eric Orr. You know, I was supposed to shoot that before the pandemic. It didn't pan out. After the pandemic, he still wanted me in the movie, and the movie is called Shaw, and it has a lot of good people in it, like Richard Lawson and Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Stannis, Ralph
Oh,
Carter, the late great Biz Markie, Big Daddy Kane, and Tracy Braxton, and it's a lot of up and coming rising talent that's doing that thing too. Like my business partner, my friend Alicia Wright, she's in it. That's like one of her major debuts. The girl doing her thing, and and then it's another film that I did, and but it's not listed on IMDb just yet. Once they list this, then I'll talk about it. And there's another series I shot 3 years prior that's circulating right now called, well, they trying to get distribution for it. It's called Untold Genius, where I play like an Instagram blogger who like a Instagram content creator who's actually has more to him than what it seems. You know, like he's rough around the edges. That's what should I say.
okay. All right. So that gives us a lot to be able to look forward to. So that tees it up perfectly then, Jermel. Pauline says she's going to be following you. So where can they best follow you online?
They can follow me online at actor Jermel Wilson. That's my IG, and I have a second IG. My backup is Jermel Wilson Official. Facebook is just Jermel Wilson. Twitter is Jermel323, and freaking I just got a TikTok, so I guess the TikTok is Jermel Wilson. I'm still trying to figure that out. And oh,
Okay.
and one more announcement too. I actually the what I was talking about earlier. Well, one more thing that I'm in, like I booked a role in David Simon's new series, We Own This City, and We Own This City is based Baltimore riots and the death of Freddie Gray and stuff like that, with HBO. So that's another one that I'm doing. You know.
Awesome. A lot of great things. Jermel, congratulations, man. Definitely well deserved. But also a great reminder for our audience that hard work pays off. You cannot wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. And that's the thing. Like you said, you're reaping the rewards from the work you already put in. And even during a pandemic, you're able to still be able to see your work paying off. So I'm really excited for you, Jermel. Jermel, and excited about having you back on the program real soon, man.
All right. Whenever you're ready, you let me know, and I'll make sure I have the technical difficulties figured out.
Not hey,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was crunching the clock because I had to shoot 2 audition tapes, and I was washing clothes. But when Cyrus Webb calls, you answer.
I'm glad it worked out, man. No problem. And we thank your audience for tuning in. It's another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk soon. Take care.
I love you, Cyrus. You my man,
Love,
bro.
love you too, man. Appreciate you, man.